Today we're doing a deep dive on Bethesda, Maryland. We're going to cover Bethesda's history, what it's like to live in Bethesda, and the affordability, lifestyle, and Bethesda real estate. This in-depth approach is going to allow us to compare the city of Bethesda to other nearby cities in the DMV area. So if you're thinking about moving to Bethesda or simply want to know more about the city, this is the video for you because we're covering everything you need to know about Bethesda, Maryland. Bethesda is located directly northwest of DC and across the Potomac River from McLean, Virginia. You can use Wisconsin Avenue, River Road, or Massachusetts Avenue to get into DC, and 495, the Capital Beltway, wraps conveniently around the outside border. If you want to go downtown to DC to check out the National Mall, give yourself 31 minutes. If you want to go to Silver Spring to check out a show at the Fillmore, it'll be about 13 minutes. And if you want to catch an international flight, you are about 35 minutes from either Dulles International or Baltimore-Washington International airports. Now, I share these heavily frequented areas because at one point or another, if you live in Bethesda, you're going to want to go to DC to see the monuments and museums, you're going to want to see a show, and you're going to want to catch a flight. But to give you a better sense of what the average commute looks like for the residents of Bethesda, know that the average commute time is 29 minutes, which is higher than the national average of 26 minutes, but faster than the DC area average of 43 minutes. Now that we know where Bethesda even is, I want to welcome you to my channel, Julie Grandin Real Estate, the go-to real estate channel for the DMV area. I'm Julie Grandin, your local realtor, able to help you get the very best out of your transaction, whether you're buying or selling your home. We're on a mission to reach every DMV resident. So if you could hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, that's really going to help us out. So let's get back to Bethesda because that's what you came here for. Bethesda established relatively recently for a city in the area. It wasn't incorporated into Bethesda until 1871. Prior to that, Wisconsin Avenue was an ancient Native American trail on which there was a store which also handled the postage for the area. This store was owned by William Darcy and the settlement was referred to as Darcy's Store. Since then, Bethesda has been a key part of the ever-growing DC area and is a thriving city of over 66,000 residents. Being the home to historic landmarks and attractions such as the Clara Barton House, Imagination Stage, and the Bethesda Blues and Jazz Club, there's plenty to do in Bethesda itself. Bethesda has many top private employers such as Marriott International, Lockheed Martin, Coventry Healthcare, numerous government and military employers such as National Institutes of Health, U.S. Food and Drug Administration, federal government and naval support activity. To add some context to Bethesda, I want to introduce an external resource in niche.com, which interprets millions of public data sets across the country. And as you can see, Bethesda has received an A+ rating from Niche, having aggregated the 12 categories you see on the screen. And it's also ranked Bethesda as the number 55 best city to raise a family, number 27 best suburbs to live in, number 6 best public schools in Maryland, and number 56 overall across the country. Now, that's what the algorithm has to say, but what do current and former residents have to say about the city? According to 136 reviews, Bethesda got 4 out of 5 stars. Now, this Bethesda report is really comprehensive, so I'll link to it in the description below. Now, for the recreation scene in Bethesda. 88% of people living in Bethesda live within a 10-minute walk of a park. The national average is 55. Now, if trails are more your speed, it should be easy to find the right trail for you, seeing as Bethesda has 169 cycle routes to explore. Bethesda also invests heavily in its community and events. They have the Bethesda Film Fest, Summer Concert Series, Bethesda Fine Arts Festival, and Taste of Bethesda, to name a few. For shopping, you have Bethesda Row, Bethesda Square, and numerous other smaller shopping centers. Now we're going to check out the school situation because regardless of whether you have kids or not, the school system will affect you directly because you still have to pay property taxes and it also impacts your resale value. Bethesda school districts have over 16,000 students enrolled. Now let's take a look at the real estate situation, which again will affect you whether you rent or own, so you'll know how it affects your rent or your property taxes. To start off with a macro perspective, the median home value right now in Bethesda is $1.25 million, which is about a 9% increase over the past year. Here's a look at home prices over the last decade. They've gone up pretty steadily, as real estate prices typically do. There has been about a 29% increase since the housing surge in 2020. Now that we know that the median home price in Bethesda is $1.25 million, let's compare it to neighboring cities. Washington, D.C., $670,000, Arlington, $880,000, McLean, over $1.4 million, Silver Spring, $600,000. Kensington, $800,000. Rockville, $628,000. And North Bethesda, $825,000. So let's take a look now at what you can actually get for that $1.25 million. A very nice range of options. By the time you watch this video, chances are those homes have already sold. But no worries, if you want the most current list of our preferred homes in Bethesda that are available now, check out the link in the description. Now let's talk about our next category, cost of living. The overall cost of living in Bethesda is 40% higher than the national average. Everything's a little bit higher, but the bulk of that comes from the housing prices, which are 120% higher than the national average. So you may be thinking, Bethesda is the place for me. Now, if that's you, congratulations. I want to invite you to connect with me in the description below. If you're still on the fence, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon. We'll be coming out with more videos, a lot like this one, for neighboring cities very soon. If you're still undecided, make sure to check out these two videos.